Alright, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so my name is Okoroji Agnes, Miss Okoroji Agnes, but going forward I would love you to address me as Miss Okoroji. That's my name.
Ah, this your voice is low, small.
Oh, so I should use my teacher. I expected that since the microphone is there.
So that it will be
so
like
I should,
very.
I'm not comfortable. I don't sit to talk. So
I can remove the chair, but no worry, it will lose
because of exactly. I love to stand.
You love to stand?
Yeah.
Let me bring you the other side.
So yeah, if there's a stand, there's a taller one, so that I can go teacher mode.
Okay.
I'm going interview mode right now. Okay, so like the director of Treasures College of Education, Montessori Education, used to call this particular course. She would say this is the icing on the cake. So it's an incentive course for the cohort that we are having this period. It is called the British Curriculum Explained. The British curriculum is what we call it in Nigeria. The real name is the National Curriculum of England. That's the UK. So the British curriculum or the National Curriculum of England is used by a lot of schools in Nigeria that are increasingly coming together under a body called AISEN, AISEN. So you can go and Google and get more information about that particular group. They use the British curriculum a lot. The schools that are international. So it is one thing for you to say your school is international, and are you doing what makes the school international? So what makes your school international is your ability to read, to follow through the national curriculum. That's all. So in this course, it's a 12-week-long course. We'll be running through the aims, the purpose, the structure of the British curriculum. We are going to be taking you through what the key stages are. We are going to skip EYFS because this is a Montessori-centered training. The EYFS is a type of nursery for the national curriculum. So I will just tell you what it is, but I'm not going to go in depth. But we would expand our knowledge of the national curriculum on the key stages. The key stages begin from the reception class. We don't have reception class because we start from primary 1 in Nigeria. So the reception class up onto year 6 where children write SAT. So those are the stages of the key stage. Key stage 1, then we have key stage 2, the lower key stage, upper key stage 2. We are going to learn everything about that. I will explain it, I will break it down through the 12 weeks. Then we are going to be talking about the English curriculum. The program of study for reading, for writing, for listening, for speaking. We are going to be learning all those things. Like I said, I'm going to skip the EYFS. So what we are doing is basically the primary education, national curriculum, primary. So everything as regards all the Cambridge standards curriculum, what they are supposed to do, the learning goals, the strategies to reach those goals. We are going to be learning all of them in this class. Then the math strands, they are quite different from, we have, all of them are the same, but the approach is different. Geometry, problem solving, statistics, algebra, all those math strands, we are going to be learning all of them in this course. Math, science, foundation subjects. How many of us know the subjects that are foundation subjects for primary? Okay. So for the British curriculum, it goes more than that. You know, we don't do geography in Nigeria in the primary school. It's a foundation subject in the national curriculum. So if you go to schools that do British curriculum, you see that they do geography in year 1. Yes, you don't get to do geography until maybe SS1 in the Nigerian curriculum. But the national curriculum, from primary 1, you do geography, you do history, you do modern foreign language. That's where we copied the use of French. So they do French, they do Spanish, all the languages that are close by in the European countries. The child is available to do one. Modern foreign languages. There's art, there's music, there's PE, and then more recently computing and design. What we call coding. So all of these are foundation subjects for the primary school in the national curriculum. So then we move on to curriculum planning. You know, I recently got somebody, I had a school somewhere in Ogun State, and there's somebody that I just employed, and she was telling me, they do Montessori where I'm coming from, but it's only in mouth. And they used to give us book, we will now write, like in the 21st century. You don't know how to plan your lesson using Microsoft Word. So these are the things we are going to get the templates. You are going to get the understanding of how the lesson plan flows. There is one thing that is it's a recurring feature in the national curriculum, and that every learning must be child-centered. And that is why it is easier to fuse the British curriculum with the Montessori curriculum, because the child is at the center of the learning process. It's different in the Nigerian curriculum. The Nigerian curriculum is very teacher-initiated. The teacher the teacher dishes out knowledge. The teacher. I've taught in Nigerian school, so I know. Step 1, teacher introduces. Step 2, teacher. Step 3, teacher. And what a lot of educators in Nigeria don't understand is that these children's minds have gone beyond our own level of thinking. Something happened in my school last term, because I had a bit of dearth of teachers, and I had to step into a classroom for a short period of time. We finished the midterm test, and a child didn't get everything. He didn't fail. So I was, giving feedback to the parent. XYZ did XYZ. She didn't get this and this. It seems like that concept, she doesn't get it yet. So the mother called the child. Let me use Sarah. Sarah, why didn't you get everything? Do you know what this child answered the mom? If you don't get it wrong, it means that you are trying. Is she wrong? She's not. Because it's from mistakes that you learn. So it is not bad to get it wrong. You see where her mind is. If it's another person now, I'm sorry. The girl is 8. She's 8 years old. She's not in the secondary school. She's in primary 4. So imagine that you now decide that it is what your mind has gotten to that you are limiting your children to. You as an adult who was trained in Nigeria, who has everything Nigerian, you are somewhere here. The blend of the British and the Montessori curriculum is saying that explore, allow the children to fly. And you say, no, teacher introduces, teacher. So in the national curriculum planning, you talk about the long-term plan, the medium-term plan, and the short-term plan. The long-term plan is the B curriculum. This curriculum comprises of years 1 to year 3. 3 is 3 years apiece curriculum, because it is key stage 1, key stage 2. So year 1 and year 2, year 3 to year 6 is one big curriculum. And I know that we are not training that so that we can go, but you never can tell. Tomorrow now, something can come up. A lot of us are social media savvy. You can send something on LinkedIn and somebody will say, please, I think I need your services. I have 4 children that have passed through me, 2 lots SATs, aced it. The one that is in Australia that later left, they changed countries and our time zones were ridiculously far apart, 10 hours apart. If I'm going to teach that child, I have to wake up at 11 p.m. and take him up to 12:30 a.m. There's no how I would have been able to meet up, no matter the amount of money. So I had to drop. I have children. There was a time in my classroom, in a place where I taught before, that they call my classroom the global classroom, because I had children from Russia, I had children from the UK, I had children from Australia, and one from the US. And there was no problem because I was merging everything, because there was a time that I asked a question, 100 and it's 142, but in the US they say 142, and that was one of the options. It was a multiple choice question. Jamal chose 142. I said it is wrong. My head of school had to call me and asked me, this child that you are marking wrong, do you realize that this child is coming from the US? We had to sit down there, check online for the curriculum for primary schools. That child was in primary 3 or primary 2. And the child was correct. I had to go back, reteach that, and apologize to the child. So we have a duty, learning all of these things, to be able to fuse them into the society where we find ourselves. It's not just for you to learn British curriculum for the sake of learning. We don't live in the UK. We live in Nigeria. But there are some things, there's something called adaptation. We are going to learn that in this class through this curriculum planning. You will learn how to differentiate your reference texts, because their own reference text is always their curriculum. But we have textbooks we use in Nigeria. They don't really use textbooks. So in Nigeria, our reference text is different from our learning resources. Some teachers would say the reference text is the learning resource, and they will put a Nigerian primary maths page 225 as learning resource. No. So all these things are going to be differentiated in this class. Then we move on to what is called inclusive learning. Have we heard of that term before? Inclusive learning. Good. So we are going to learn inclusion in relation to SENs. Do we know who SENs are? Yes, children with special education needs, vis-a-vis inclusion. So it is not just for children that are on the spectrum. Inclusion does not mean that you are taking someone, sorry, I'm off camera, maybe when the cameras are off. It's not only the children that are on the spectrum. Inclusion has to do with that child that is in preparatory class, 2-year toddler class, who is already able to do arts. What are you doing to extend that child? That is inclusion. So sometimes when we talk about inclusion, we always think is ability to quickly bring the ones that are back. What of those that are high flyers? What strategies are you going to use? What does the curriculum provide for those kind of children? So inclusion is both ends of the stick. And for those who are below average, what are you doing to bring them up to scratch? So we are going to talk about differentiation, SEN support, and inclusive classroom strategies in the British curriculum. And then we'll now end up with our assessment. So these are milestones that we are going to be reaching for the next 10-11 weeks, because we started today already. This is the introductory class, and I hope, because we are going to be doing a lot of reading, whatever it is I'm going to dish for you, I am not a gatekeeper. There was a friend of mine, an acquaintance, who just graduated, who did her master's, and she was saying that she had to beg her supervisor to let them type their projects, and I couldn't wrap my head around it. 21st century. So we are going to be adapting to a lot of new trends. You will be doing peer group work. You will be coming up with different lessons. You will be doing some sort of not presentation now. You will be having classes, like you will teach a class using this curriculum. So I need you to be open-minded. Remember, this is an informative class. So don't be close-minded that what in the British curriculum, bye. It is going to help us to be able to adapt and pick the most important parts of the national curriculum and adapt it to make our schools, to make our classrooms better than we have left it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, do we have any questions for me as regards this? So next week we are starting straight to introduction to the national curriculum, the aims and visions of the curriculum. Everything that I'm going to teach you in this class are going to be found on the UK website, www.gov.uk. So for those who are watching online, even if you miss classes or for one reason or the other, the live stream is not working, please, I will always send reference materials that you have to read up on. There are some materials that are called statutory documents. There are some materials that are supporting documents. So all of these documents, you are going to get them. Read ahead. Read ahead. You are free to explore to whatever extent that you can, such that you are coming into classroom armed and not waiting for me. You have the wings to fly. So you can fly above the classroom. You come, you talk about it. It's a discussion. I give what the insights, what do they call it? I'm sorry, I'm looking for the word. Yeah, the insights on the level of consultancy basis, and then we talk about how to adapt it into the Nigerian context. That is what we are doing, basically. So, the UK National Curriculum, www.gov.uk. Gov, like government, so gov. www.gov.uk. gov.uk. All of them in small letters. So you will see a lot of things there, but there are inner links that I'll have to send. But the framework, the national curriculum itself, is on that website.
So what's the
ISEN, International Association of International School Educators of Nigeria. AISN. So it's very good to be part of the organization because it's an umbrella body. It saves you from a lot of things, and you are able to get insider information most of the time, especially as regards Cambridge exams, SAT, IGCSE, and all that. More for secondary school, actually. It's very good for those in secondary. We don't do SAT in Nigeria yet for primary 6. Okay. Once it's primary 6, they will ask you to go and write common entrance. So, at least for now.
You can see how the question is.
Yeah, of course, yes. You get SAT modeled questions. Yes, you get it. All right. Any questions? Mr. Alaito?
Hello.
Yes, please.
There's still time. Can we have stop? Please.
Brief what? I didn't hear you.
A brief intro of the first topic.
Which is the national curriculum, purpose, statutory nature, structure. Whew. I didn't prepare that. I didn't prepare that because it's a bit, it's more of history. So I would prefer that I get the document ready, I send it to the class ahead, and we come into class and discuss it. It's better that way because it's not, I'm not a teacher, I'm not a good lecturer. I'm used to my little children, so when we come together, do a So I don't want it to get boring. So that's why I'm going to stop. I'm not going to do that now. So in the next class, so just bear it in mind. Introduction to the national curriculum, aims and vision. That's what we are doing in the next class. Introduction to the national curriculum. Don't forget, I call it national curriculum because I'm used to it. Please, what's the name for Nigeria? So it's the same thing. The national curriculum of England. You know, when they say national, you think it's Nigerian. So the national curriculum, that's the British curriculum. So that's what we are doing. Aims, values, structure. Aims, values, structure. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure to meet everyone. I hope that as we move on, I'll be able to get everybody's names. Yes, thank you very much. Our class is dismissed. How do we end this? Mrs. Obadare, how do you end the live stream? Okay. So we are done.
I'm not prepared. I need to send the materials.
So we don't discuss it in class.
It's not meant to carry. It's not even correct.
What class do you teach? That's why they're senior boys. Senior children. I use Montessori for that.
Yes.
What would be the pin tower? What is the next one?
All students, you are going to meet, it's already time. You are going to meet Mr. Lighton. He has he has a passport. You are going to continue taking these people.
Salah, you meet us there.
I'm not coming.